Hi, I'm Steinke and welcome to my harness maker's workshop. Something a bit different today. Normally I take one subject and go all the way through to the end. Today I thought I'd give you an overview of what comes in to the workshop. If it gets good reception, I'll do this once a month because it's quite a variety of work I get to do here. So I'm going to put the camera down here on the workbench in a minute and show you all the different items that actually are for the next month. They range from a pile, sort that out, that's for one turn out of a team of 4. I'll talk about that in a minute, to making a nice little in-hand bridle with patent in the middle, to this, oh you can't see it quite on the video here, I'll show you in a minute. It's for something rather special on the road coach, to some of the fittings I use for brow band and the little drops. That's going to be for a Hackney set. So I'm going to drop the camera down now and you'll get a better view of what I've got on the bench. Follow me. Now let's start off with these reins. One of my customers, John Kennedy, is the first driver to qualify for the World Championships in carriage driving with his team of Welsh ponies. So I've been doing just a bit of checking up on his harness and if anything needs doing just before he goes to the championships next week in France. And I've made him a new set of reins, the whole set for the 4 ponies. This is the old set that just needs a bit of checking over, tidying up for exercising. It's like a pile of spaghetti, isn't it? Well, Mum was best part Italian and she taught me how to eat spaghetti properly without chopping it all up, and it just reminds me of a whole heap of spaghetti. But I've made the new reins, and at the end of this video I'll show you the picture of myself and John Kennedy when I gave him the new reins. But they're nice and fine because it is only for a Welsh mountain. I say only, it's for, you know, Welsh mountain. I've loved them, as I have driven them, but mostly I've used them for lead rein and showing with the kids. So that's one job that's been on the bench this week. I'm just going to move these off. Now, another job just finished. This collar came in a dreadful state. It had holes in the panel, in the padding, and had all these fittings round the side, and cut them all off. You can see just how they'd worn and everything. So I took all those off. I put a new wale round it, new collar check inside, nice and smooth. There was a hole in it, but you can't feel the hole now. I managed to smooth that out. Made a new casing with the red piping, and then put the plates on. So that's all ready to go out. To go with it, wow, what we got here. These are the hames, and there we are. It actually came, these hames, with traces stitched onto the rings, but I cut them off, put some nice buckle pieces on with nice strong buckle, backing piece and nice deep metal loops, and then the support to go up to the ring. It's the rein ring, because some hames have a secondary ring below the rein ring. This doesn't, so it goes straight up to the rein ring. But as you can see, the red is carried all through the set, and in a minute I'll show you the breeching I made. That's all going together. While I'm on the subject of collars, here's another one that's coming. Mind the fluffy plume, I'll come to that in a minute. And there we have a collar. At first looks not too bad, but when you turn it over, you can see it is in need of a little bit of TLC. Both sides it's caught. You can see just how bad that is. So that's come in, and that will have a leather lining on it, and that will be used for funerals, which leads me in to my fluffy friend here. Good, isn't it? The owner of the collar for funerals got these plumes in, but needs the little attachments to go onto the middle of the headpiece of the bridle. So that's just another little different job. So I've got to go into the hardware store with this in my hand and ask. They always sort of take the mickey a bit, some of the things I ask for. So, but I'll go in and show them this. That should get a laugh in the hardware store. So I'll pop these on the floor now, just so we can get a bit of room here. I must have, just coming back to the collar, this wasn't lined in collar check in the beginning. It was a leather lining, which was a bit like the funeral collar, had holes in it, but to go with the trade set, it had the correct lining now, which is the blue and white collar check. Now, what else have we got here? Right, for a good while now, these arches have been unavailable. That's what you build a driving pad on. That's the basis of it. A bit like a saddle tree, made by the same sort of makers. And that little cantle there, I like doing these in miniature. You actually make like a saddle shape going deep down and then up and over. Then it has skirts. That's where the terrets will go, in the holes there. The overcheck in the middle. And this is for another pad, but it gives you an idea. This is for a cob size pad. You can see with the point on it. So that looks odd at the moment, but once you sort of put that to it, you can see this pad has terrets in the middle, this particular one, but that you can see where that fits into the plan of things. And that D at the back is for your crupper. I shall cover that in leather neatly and stitch it on. So some of these items that I'm working on will be on YouTube. Others will be on Carriage Commentator, a brilliant site that I also work for, run by Sarah Dance and Minter Wynn. So also have a look at there. The renovation of the farm, of the trade collar, that will be on Carriage Commentator fairly shortly. So I'm going to move that there. There's a fluffy, it's like a bit of dust, isn't it? But it does really make a good show for a funeral or wedding. Now you see this. Yeah, maybe have to pull the camera back for this. What it's come in for, it's got an initial on it. So my job is to take that initial off and put Mark's initial onto it. It is an umbrella case. It's been in the workshop for a few weeks and everyone's been fascinated by it. Made by Giddens of London, stamped, and it's what they would put the umbrellas in on a road coach. So I've had the whole set to go with this, with the initials on, and I did the rest of the harness, but now I've just got to do the little initial there. So that will take us through some of the item. Oh, what else have I got here? Of course, this is coming up. The next set I'm working on is a little show wagon set for a Hackney pony, and there's the beautiful Tilbury tugs, very fine. It's only a pony, not a Hackney horse. And you've got the pair of those. I shall cover the curved bit in leather to protect the shafts. Then I will have leather backing around the buckle, and then fit the strap onto there that will go from that hinged loop through there and down to the belly band. So, and the pad will have these plates. I've just got to rivet them onto the metal plate, the arches I've got. There's the plate, and there'll be the strap coming off there, which will buckle up to the Tilbury tug. So you can see all how it comes together. And to finish off the bridle for the Hackney set, there's going to be a nice little chain brow band, and can you see the rosette that will be at the end of it? A lot of it's going to be hand stitched, so do come back. I'll give an overview of that, but for the real down to down, step by step stage of making the Hackney set will be on Carriage Commentator, which, as I say, I highly recommend. So that covers a lot of the work here. I'll also be doing, most probably, yes, for YouTube, that bridle which I showed you earlier. But the one I've got on order, this is like the pattern I keep, is in brown. Again, as I mentioned, backed in yellow. So imagine that in a nice chestnut colour, backed in yellow with nice fancy buckles. Come back in a few weeks, couple of weeks, and that should be all ready. And if you press on the subscription button, there, YouTube will remind you when my videos are up. So that's quite a bit, I think, to be getting on with. Now, before I go, here's the breeching that I made to complement the trade harness. So you can see I've got it's adjustable at the ends. It has the lining, and I like to use curves, not always just straight lines. Sometimes you've got to use the straight line, but the middle there, you can see it's curved. The piping of the red really stands out. The fancy stitching at the back, the middle part, in fact, all of the stitching along here is stitched by hand. So it's so intricate that, and then I can put a nice swell. Can you see how the light's actually catching on one side and not the other? It just gives that nice curved effect. You've got the breeching straps, and I always, both when I've been driving and making for other people, think it's good to have trace carriers. You've got the pattern there which will match up with your martingale and any kidney beaters, but you've also got this loop there that the traces pass through, and it keeps them in place while you're trotting along. So that, and again, I can use the same ornament on the kidney beaters, martingale, these trace carriers, and also on the loin strap. This is the three-piece loin strap. Used to sit a lot with Giddens harness and the London style harness. So that's what will be on the back of the animal. And then you've seen the collar, which just fits in with the same colour red and the piping along there, and it all goes together nicely. I've already made him the bridle, so it's, I think, turned out a pretty good set of harness. So hope it's been of interest to you. All the different things that I do in the workshop, there's never a dull moment here. So from the arch, something that I haven't been able to do for a while because the arches weren't available. They are now, to the trade harness with the colours, to the show wagons for the Hackney ponies, the Tilbury tugs there, even to my fluffy duster for the funeral harness and the wedding harness. So do come back. I'm filming this in the beginning of September. In October, it is European Heritage Week. So I'll be doing a special video for that. Apart from all this driving harness, one thing I really have loved over the years is working on side saddles. So I've taken lots of pictures of them step by step by step. So if you're interested in side saddles or just in the workmanship, I mean, these saddles are over 100 years old, some of them that I get. And it's exciting because when you take the panel off, separate the two, the top part and the padding of the saddle, often you'll get the maker's name, who it was made for, you know, the Honourable Lady, whatever. And the saddler sometimes signs it, so you never know what you're going to find on the label. I'll either give, I didn't record that on video, that's on stills, so I'll most probably have the pictures and give a vocal and describe in between. And it'd be something a bit different. So as I say, if you pop your finger on the subscribe button, you'll be advised when I put another video up. I try and get one up a week. It doesn't always work because I've just got so much to do in the workshop. But that's what I've got planned for European Heritage Week. Okay, so thank you very much for being here today. And I look forward to seeing you again because I can see you, you know. Yeah, and the new person. Yeah, there we are. I see you there as well. So do regularly come back and I'll show you, you know, some of the variety of the things that I've got here at the workshop. Okay, so for now, cheerio. Bye.